Ego, the boys who didn't get selected on Sunday had a run at Port Melbourne. How did that go?
It was good. It was a bit different. We weren't kicking the dew off this week. We're kicking the ice off. It was 9 a.m. Sunday morning, so it was a freezing morning. So it was tough early. It was a bit scrappy. It was a pretty open game. It was only 14 v 14, so it was a pretty open game. So we played 6 mids and 4 and 4 each end, which made it pretty open and flowing game. But look, Geelong were excellent. Their first half was really dangerous. They used the ball really well, opened the ground up, and looked pretty damaging going forward. So it was a pretty tough day, but we fought back pretty hard. They ended up getting the win, but our second half was pretty solid. We had no rotations, and they had a couple, so it was a good day.
A lot of interest in Harley Bennell. He kicked the 4 goals. Were you impressed with his efforts?
Yeah, he looked really dangerous up forward. I thought he kicked 3, so I looked at the stats wrong, but yeah, he did kick 4. Couple from forward 50 stoppages, so him and Weeds had a lot of connection. His movement's great. Any chance he gets, he often scores, and yeah, some pretty bloody good goals.
A few senior figures out there: Nathan Jones, Neville Jetta. How do those sort of boys go?
Yeah, it was a good balance between a pretty young side and good experience with Neville and Oscar McDonald and Jones. Jones was really good. Played him on ball most of the game. I think he ended up with nearly 30 touches, 7 clearances, so his clearance work was really good. Come off late, but I think that was more precaution. Oscar McDonald was outstanding. He's probably clearly best on ground for us. His ability to mark intercept, I think he had 5 or 6 mark intercepts. He used the ball really well, so down back he looked really dangerous. And Neville was really hard to play against. He's always consistent. You can hear his voice the whole game, barking orders, and yeah, he looked solid coming back.
I'm guessing the backline was under the pump a little bit. Oscar obviously stood up well. Did that whole group function okay?
Yeah, just with the numbers, there was 3 permanent backs. So we had Chandler there as well, who's learning the role. He's only done it for the last 3 weeks and is looking really natural as a half back. So those 3 were there, and then we rotated a player going through. So look, they were under the pump with just the flow on the ball, and we probably didn't defend as a group that well. So there was a lot of open play where they had to defend their opponents. But I thought the backs were outstanding, just their ability to try to bring the ball to ground when there was flow on the ball. And yeah, Oscar McDonald and Nev in particular with their aerial did a really good job. So even though Geelong kicked, I think it was only 10 goals. Those guys did a really good job at trying to limit as best they could.
Down the other end of the field, we had the 3 key forwards: Jackson, Wiedemann, Brown. How did those boys compete?
Yeah, Jacko probably played a little bit more in the ruck this week, and we used Austin and Jacko. So Austin probably played a little bit more forward than he has. Jacko's ruck work was outstanding. So obviously, while we drafted him, he still needs to learn the forward roles, but his ruck work follow-up was excellent. Brownie probably didn't get much opportunity this week, so we weren't able to sort of open the ground up as much as we would have liked. And he's a great presenter and leader at the kicker, and probably didn't use him as much as we should have. But when he did, he kicked a couple of goals early. He looked dangerous, especially early when we probably opened the ground up pretty well. And Weeds, his aerial stuff was great. Like, he's on a very experienced player in Henderson, who's a great matchup for Weeds just to learn and understand positioning. And Weeds looked really good in his pack situations. Just got to finish off his work now, so he's really close to a big game.